Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. It really feels we're at a turning point in the Trump presidency. Not the point where he's turning himself in, but still, you can feel a change in the air right now. There's all kinds of new damning stuff. I mean, stuff you say in court kind of stuff coming out about Trump in court. Starting with former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, a.k.a. Vincent Van Gogh to jail. Yesterday, just yesterday, Cohen pleaded guilty to paying off porn star Stormy Daniels and Playboy playmate Karen McDougal to influence the election. That is a felony, hence the whole go to jail thing. And he says, Cohen says Trump ordered him to do it, so what does that make Trump?
We have a person sitting in the White House right now who is essentially an unindicted co-conspirator.
He's an unindicted co-conspirator.
Donald Trump can be an unindicted co-conspirator on this.
I think we might have to update the presidential seal. Poor guy.
Jailbirds.
This morning, Donald Trump fired back at those charges. I never directed Michael Cohen to break the law. He was a lawyer, and he is supposed to know the law. It is called advice of counsel, and a lawyer has great liability if a mistake is made. That is why they get paid, okay? Look, I hired him to break the law, but in a way that was legal. Cohen's not the only one involved in this scheme who has flipped on Trump. So has Trump's close personal friend, chairman of the National Enquirer's parent company, and Old West prospector about to bury you in this rap battle, David Pecker. Yes, Trump's friend is named David Pecker. Go ahead and laugh. I know it's funny, the idea of Donald Trump having a friend. You see, Trump may have paid off Stormy Daniels, but yesterday, court papers revealed that the Enquirer paid Karen McDougal for exclusive rights to her story about her affair with Trump. Then they buried the story. It's a practice in tabloid news known as catch and kill, which is also what Eric and Don Jr. call a day at the zoo. They kill endangered species. There's documentation. This is, nice kids, this is a big deal because up until now, it's always been Michael Cohen's word against Donald Trump's. But according to election law experts, this admission by Pecker is highly significant because it goes to corroborate. Who would have thought a tabloid would play such a big role in this crisis? Up next, the Weekly World News with Elvis is alive and he has the PP tape. It got me all shook up. Now, in their statement, the Enquirer's publisher admitted that the meeting where they agreed to pay off Karen McDougal was attended by Pecker, Cohen, and, quote, at least one other member of the campaign. And today it was confirmed that the other member was Trump. I'm not surprised. Trump's other member is what got him into this pickle in the first place. Also, not to mention Trump's pickle. Now, when he saw a gherkin, when he saw...
What's the deal?
When he saw he was in trouble with the Justice Department, Trump immediately appealed to a higher authority, Fox News, where he was asked about the Enquirer controversy.
I don't think, and I have to go check, I don't think they even paid any money to that tabloid, okay? I don't think we made a payment to that tabloid. I was asking the question, I don't think we made a payment.
I'm not sure. I gotta check. I always forget which publications I paid to silence my porn stars and which publications my porn stars spanked me with. Then the conversation turned to that traitor, Michael Cohen.
This was someone who surreptitiously recorded you
Terrible.
is now known as a criminal liar. Yet this was someone who was in your inner circle.
Yeah. Well, it happens. I mean, look, it happens. I hire usually good people.
Yeah, I hire usually good people, except for those dozens of people I've fired since becoming president. You know, every barrel has 100 or so bad apples. Besides, Trump's lawyer wasn't really Trump's lawyer.
He did more public relations than he did law.
What? You just tweeted that he should have known better because he was your lawyer. Michael Cohen was the most brilliant legal mind who knew absolutely nothing about the law, okay? He's a cross of Alan Dershowitz and a narcoleptic raccoon. And Trump knows Cohen's real motivations here.
What he did is he made a deal to embarrass me. In order to embarrass me, they cut his term down. How many people, when they say, listen, if you embarrass the President of the United States, we'll give you a deal?
Well, if they're giving out deals to people who embarrass the president, you might have a chance. Trump did.
What's the deal?
Fair-minded people.
Yeah.
Fair-minded people.
Real pick.
Trump did his best to bring the conversation back to complimenting himself.
I think I have the greatest base in the history of politics. I have people that I love and that love me, frankly. That includes a lot of women.
Honey, if the date ends with you cutting a check, that's not love. But, hey, Daddy, you need a bass tonight? Daddy, you need a bass tonight? But while all this is being sorted out, Trump is still president. And on Tuesday, we learned that after their meeting in the Oval Office, Trump told incoming House Speaker Nancy Pelosi that Mexico is going to pay for the wall. Now, a lot of people mocked the president for this. But this morning he explained his, I want to say, logic. I often stated one way or the other, Mexico is going to pay for the wall. This has never changed. Our new deal with Mexico and Canada, USMCA, is so much better than the old, very costly and anti-USA NAFTA deal that just by the money we save, Mexico is paying for the wall. No, they're not. Just because you save money somewhere else in a deal between three nations doesn't mean they're responsible for the federal budget. Oh, look, a coupon, 10% off small subs. Quizno is paying for the wall. Toasty.